I'm with the very famous Kevin Holland, service management luminary. And how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Just wanted to ask you about SIAM. You seem to be involved in that, and it seems to be the flavour of the moment. Everybody's talking about it. What on earth is it?
Service integration and management.
Right.
The
Okay,
keys in the word. Service integration,
Okay.
which is about integrating multiple services, typically from multiple suppliers,
Yep.
and management. And it's been around for years. Been around for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing it in my organisation for 9 years, so it's not flavour of the month to us because we're doing it. But what's happening is, because of the emergence of, particularly in the public sector, disaggregating big single contracts that are with one provider, who we used to call an SI, except they were systems integrators, into different contracts with different people. There's an emerging need for the public sector now for someone to manage all that and tie it together. So if you really think about it, about service management, but in the context of having to manage multiple suppliers, which by itself isn't actually an ITIL in a great extent. It's touched on it, but there's nothing explicit. Well, the reason why it's flavour of the month is because the landscape is changing. So people are disaggregating cloud services for component services, so the need to have an organisation that does, good example, coordinates change management across multiple suppliers. So is absolutely prevalent and needed.
Is that going to be done by traditional, managed services or service integration, system integration companies, or is it going to be a new breed of company to provide that kind of layer of management, or is that done by the retained organisation?
Simple answer is yes.
All of these?
In the past, the typical appetite was, we don't want to do any of this integration, we'll give it to someone to do for us.
Yeah.
An outsourced deal, and they did it. Experience is those outsourced deals aren't always the easiest ones to manage, particularly as things change over time. Onboarding new suppliers, particularly now where new suppliers have different models that may not fit the standard.
Yeah.
That reduces complexity. So actually SIAM, the route to SIAM, Service Integration Management, it can be one of many things. It can be pay someone to do all of it for you, which is traditionally what we've done. It can be take it all in-house. Now there are organisations who do it all in-house anyway. But the biggest emerging model is a mixed model, where some things you'll do in-house, and then you'll get specialist supplier support for certain other areas. And to help that, I've been involved in designing a cross-government enterprise model for service integration and management. It's built on working models at DWP, Department of Health, Ministry of Justice, built on New Sky, Blue Sky thinking for various people as well. But what it does is it splits SIAM, and I personally hate the term, into a number of fairly discrete service integration services. We've got about 7 of them described, and they're no-brainers. Service desk.
What's that then?
We all know what a service desk is. But it's a fairly self-contained, easily described service that you need as part of your service integration.
Quick question about that. Do you think that the owner of, or the, if you like, the integrator of all the services, do you think they need to own the service desk?
There's a lot of debate about that. My personal view is no. Because actually, at the end of the day, you're still paying service suppliers, which are called tower suppliers in the language, to provide a service, such as hosting. Well, you're paying them to do it, so they should have their own service desk anyway. And this is all about the most effective route of getting the incident to the people who can resolve it.
Which bits should they own then? I mean, are there any critical bits that they have to own?
It actually really depends on the model and the services. If you have services that are segregated with no interaction between them, then arguably why do you need a SIAM at all? Yes, you need to do service level management over the suppliers, which is part of SIAM. But it really does depend on the services, the number of suppliers, the categories, what within an organisation you want to do, what the capability is and what you don't. Talking with my government colleagues, some want to outsource the service desk, get someone else to do that for them, but they want to keep the supplier assurance role in-house because they already have skills to do that. Other ones want to move the service desk on. It really is a mixed model, and that is the intention. Instead of a decision that says outsource everything or insource everything, the idea behind where we're moving to is to facilitate organisations to make value-based judgments, what to do themselves, where they need help, what they want to do.
Okay, and so where would people find out more about this? I mean, is there a website? Is there information?
We're in the middle of the G-Cloud 3 procurement, and service integration is in lot 4 of G-Cloud, which is one of the categories of services we're looking to get. We had a supplier day this week through Intellect to encourage some more suppliers. We're planning another one. But the G-Cloud website, which I can't remember the URL, but if you put in G-Cloud into Google, you'll find the website. That has some of the service descriptions. But increasingly, the other one is read some of the articles in Service Talk, read some of the blogs. There's plenty of information out there.
And there's an event coming up in London.
There is, at which I'm speaking, which is covering service integration. That's a good opportunity as well. But it is emerging. There is no right and wrong answer.
Yeah.
But the body of knowledge is coming together about what it is to help people understand it and use it.
Sounds like a lot of people just trying to find their place or their position in it, but it's coming together. Yeah.
I think the key thing is it's not a magic bullet, and there is a myth that everyone needs SIAM because it will solve world hunger.
We like magic bullets,
yes,
don't we?
No, it's not a magic bullet. Actually, we have been doing it for ages, but it's a new way of describing how we manage services.
Okay, great. As ever, thank you very much, and we'll talk soon. We'll probably see you at that event on the 7th.
Yeah, thank you, Barclay.
Cheers.